I'd say the freedom.
Freedom. Freedom, I guess.
Responsibility.
The main difference would be that you are more independent and you're more responsible for your actions in comparison to school, where you have like maybe your parents and people to look after you and look out for you.
At university, everything is on your time. You plan your schedule, sort of. You kind of plan what you want to go to and when.
Because at school you have your teachers telling you you have to do this, you have to do that, stick to a schedule. But in uni, other than your lectures, you kind of set your own schedule.
You're very much doing it for yourself, and you're expected to kind of take that on yourself and structure your own life, really. And I think that's the big change from school to uni.
I think uni, particularly Cambridge, there's far more freedom in what you get to learn, the questions you get to ask. That's what I've loved most.
You can choose what you do within your study a lot more, at least for humanities, which is really nice.
For me at school, I did history, politics and French, and usually it was much bigger classes, whereas at university it's a lot of independent work, and then you'll have a supervision that's one-on-one.
Even with supervisions, they tailor towards what your interests are, but then they give you the resources to look further, to read further.
It's like going to a lesson. You do the starter and then you have to research the rest yourself and come up with your own take on whatever you're talking about.
I came from a very small school, so teachers were constantly behind my back to get work done, or like submit this, submit that. At uni it's very different, you're just on your own schedule, so there's of course support networks, but they're not chasing behind you to get work done.
Being able to not have that at uni is actually really nice. And also just being able to pop down to a study session just with people, having it be really casual, really chill. It feels like I'm able to work, hard here as I'm paying to do, and also enjoy myself a lot more.
And how you can, play hard after you've worked hard is a really important question to try and resolve as early as possible, I think.
Because you're sleeping here, you're eating here, your whole day spent in the college. You can really make up your own time. So.
Like when you're living in halls, you might be working 9 till 3 or 9 till 5, but past that time you're still responsible for yourself.
In high school, I feel like they're very much cliques, and there's a group that you're always with, and they're the only people you can really hang out with. Whereas at uni, it's completely different because there are so many different levels, I feel like, to the student population. Like obviously you have your college, you also have your course, but you also just have the wider university and the different societies there.
I went to school quite far from where I lived, so when I get home, that was it for the day. I'd just be in my room, or like at the bare minimum, like playing video games with my friends if I was going to talk to them. But once I'm here, I can just pick up and go to the bar, go to the pub, go dinner with my friends, for example, cook with my friends.
I think you have a lot more time to explore and to understand yourself better. Because I think during uni years, of course, like you're still maturing, but I think there's a lot of difficulties and trials along the way, not like necessarily just in university, but just in like your life. But then you have to juggle that with university, and I think it's a really like precious time. Like I always think that these like years are like some of my golden years, I guess, because it's like the time where I can get to like know myself better and see how I react to situations.
You aren't constrained by having to live in a household with people who might not, particularly agree with your lifestyle choices or your sexuality, or all sorts of things about the way that you want to present yourself or your identity. And that's pretty important to lots of students.
Just meeting loads of new people, new supervisors, professors, affiliated staff, and just getting to know what people's interests are and seeing where the different alleyways are, because I think with university you finally specialise in what you want to do, whereas still at school you're kind of a jack of all trades.
There's something like 900 or maybe even more societies at Cambridge, so you can't go to all of them, which is why you have to choose, you have to prioritise stuff.
I mean, I guess it's a blessing and a curse that you really have to structure your own time and make sure that you're getting everything done. So for me, that's been really helpful because I've found that I can, waste less time and just get things done and have so much time to myself.
I kept going to events, and it was great because everyone at Cambridge is here to meet other people. Even if they already have friends, people are so welcoming and so open to talking to new people. So whether that's at a society event or if you go to a formal, you'll literally start chatting to the people next to you. Like I sometimes think that people literally just go to the events to meet new people.
But university's a lot more fun. I think it's nice to be away from home and get that independence, and also you get to do what you want and structure your own day.
I feel like I'm slowly adapting now, but it took some time at first because there's just so much independence.